Time has a strange way of teaching us what we refuse to learn. Some lessons arrive gently. Others arrive when everything inside us finally cracks. This is the story of Daniel, a young man who spent his life fixing everyone's problems except his own. Daniel was the kind of person people trusted instantly. If a coworker needed an extra shift covered, he said yes. If his sister needed help moving apartments, he drove across town. If a friend called crying at 2 a.m., Daniel stayed awake until they calmed down. He never complained. He never asked for anything in return. And when someone said, "I don't know what I'd do without you," he just smiled, even though the truth was eating at him. Inside, Daniel felt tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes, but the exhaustion that comes from carrying everyone else's weight while pretending yours doesn't exist. He kept telling himself, "They need me, I'm fine." But he wasn't fine. His apartment was a mess. His bills were late. His own goals, learning guitar, taking evening classes, fixing his old bicycle, all sat untouched on a dusty list. People admired him, but no one really saw him. Somewhere along the way, Daniel had learned to make himself small so others could feel big. He learned to give even when he was empty. He learned to smile even when his chest felt heavy. And he learned, sadly, that people only check on you when you stop showing up. One day, while helping a coworker finish a project late at night, Daniel felt something he had never felt before. His hands shaking, chest tightening, vision blurring. Burnout. But he called it just stress. He laughed it off. He kept working until his body finally spoke the truth his mind refused to hear. He dropped the folder he was holding, papers scattering across the floor. And for the first time in years, Daniel sat down and cried, quietly, exhausted, alone in a dim office. No one knew. No one asked. Everyone assumed he was strong because he never allowed himself to be seen as anything else. After that night, something shifted. On his bus ride home, Daniel looked at the reflection in the window, the tired eyes, the forced smile, the weight he carried, and a simple thought appeared. Why do I treat everyone with kindness except myself? That question stayed with him for days. For the first time, he said no to a favor. For the first time, he went home early. For the first time, he cleaned his room, paid his bills, and made himself a warm dinner. It felt strange. It felt uncomfortable. But it also felt like breathing after holding his breath for years. He didn't become selfish. He didn't stop helping people. He simply learned the truth. You cannot pour from an empty heart. You cannot save others while losing yourself. Daniel started small. A morning walk, a weekly journal, a sunset watched without guilt. He picked up his old guitar again, signed up for a class, said yes to himself more often, and not this time without shame. Slowly, he became someone new, not because he changed, but because he finally included himself in the kindness he gave so freely to others. And maybe this story isn't really about Daniel. Maybe it's about you. If you're the person everyone depends on, if you're always the strong one, if you give until it hurts and break in silence, this is your reminder. You deserve rest. You deserve help. You deserve the same compassion you constantly offer the world. Take care of yourself, not because others won't, but because you finally realized you're worth taking care of. What part of your heart have you been ignoring? And when will you start listening to it?